What are you guys doing in there? We got stuff to talk about. Let's go. Alright, there we are. So first off, I just want to say, guys, I'm so sorry. It's been a long time. I've had a lot happen in life, you know, whether that be people passing, switching jobs. We had another kid, and our other one's about to turn 2. So, you know, we've had a busy life in the past year and a half, to say the least. So I want to say thank you, first off, for all the continued support and all the support you guys are going to continue to give, like I know you will. You guys are great. I love every one of you. Thank you so much, really, truly. And let's get on with it, I guess. This video is my comeback video. Been a long time, obviously. So I wanted to do something big. And for this one, I kind of struggled. I had a few ideas that were kind of funny, a few ideas that were serious, a few ideas that were good recipes I use all the time. I just didn't want to come back in that way, you know. So I started hunting this year. First time I've ever tried to hunt in my life. Never been a hunter, never really cared. I got one, muzzleloader, black powder. I did it. So after shooting that deer, we decided I can't spend $500 to process the damn thing. So I processed it on my own. Not only learning hunting this year, but learning to process the deer was a lot. So that alone makes this video really important to me. I did all this on my own. The other part of that is that we're also going to be showing my smokehouse for the first time. I have not used this smokehouse on the channel. I use it all the time, whether that's making jerky, typically is what I use it for, or smoking a whole chicken, turkey, things like that. I've got a pellet smoker I'll do ribs and other things on, but this smokehouse I hand built. It's not the prettiest by any means, but the damn thing works good. So in this one, you guys are going to see my recipe for deer jerky. I've heard nothing but good feedback on it, so I'm sure this will be the same. If not, we'll find out. It's a learning process. That's cooking, right? So let's go ahead and jump right into it and see how she goes with some deer jerky. All right, appreciate it, guys. Alright guys, now that we got this jerky sliced, let's go ahead and start the marinade. First I'm going to start with a teriyaki, just an easy KC Masterpiece marinade. I'm not going to get a whole lot in there, just kind of drizzle it in. Next one, Worcestershire, gotta have it. Go ahead and get quite a bit of that in there, you can't really get too much of that. Next one is Johnny's au jus. This is good for French tips, really anything. It's a good beef flavor. Pour a little bit of that in there. And this is one that I just discovered. You pour just a tiny bit of syrup in there. It does a lot. And if you got an empty bottle like me, you may have to wait a minute. But, you know, is what it is. That's literally all we're going to put in there, the syrup. Just 2 little drops, just a little bit. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to get our hands in there and we're just going to go ahead and mix everything up. Let me rinse my hand off for you. Now that's how our jerky is gonna look. We want it to marinate, nice and liquidy, but not too much. Let that go as long as you can. You want to go 24, 48 hours. I don't have that kind of time. We had a crazy snowstorm, so I'm just gonna go a few hours. All right, so now that we got our jerky marinating, it's wrapped up, it's in the fridge. What we're gonna do while we have some time, we're gonna go ahead and make our seasoning. So for that, I'll show you. I like to just use a few of my favorite things. That's up to you. Seasoning is all personal preference. So first off, I'm starting off, I got some brown sugar in the bowl. Not a whole lot, you know, maybe a couple tablespoons. Next, I'm going to use one that I really like. It's Stubbs pork rub. It's got some garlic, sea salt, lime. It's a really good one. Again, we're not going to do a whole crazy amount of this. Give it a few shakes. You can see it's changed color. I have a little bit. I don't know how to judge seasonings. I mean, you just give it what you think. Next one is a Montreal steak. It's got a lot of garlic. It's got a little bit of onion. It's got just a bunch of good flavors in there. And that's also going to give you some of your bigger flakes like you see in a lot of the, store-bought jerky. This last one is one that I just discovered. I love this stuff. If you've never seen it, go to Walmart and buy it, or wherever you can, Hy-Vee, whatever. It's a Carolina dirt rub. This shit is incredible. So again, on that one, not a whole lot. And then what we're actually going to do is you get an empty container. We use this a lot, so I got a bunch of these. So then we're just going to go ahead and pour that into our empty container. You're going to make a little mess. I mean, you're cooking, so when you're cooking, that's a good thing to make a mess. Whoever's cleaning the kitchen may disagree with that last one, but all I'm going to do is go ahead and put the lid on that, give it a shake, and that's my seasoning. Like you can see it's all pretty well mixed up, so you'll see more of that when I put it on here in a couple of hours. All right, we've had our jerky marinating for a few hours now, so now we're going to go ahead and start the fire. First thing I'm going to do, I got some Kingsford charcoal. I'm a Kingsford guy, so gotta have Kingsford. Next thing I'm gonna do is just dump some on the ground. That's what I'll be using to start it with. Not gonna use a whole lot, but you'll see when I get it in there. We're just trying to build a nice, flat, even bed of flame. All right. Just got a nice little bed going, nothing crazy. Next thing, I'm gonna go ahead and use a little lighter fluid because it's cold and I don't want to be out here too long, so. We're gonna go ahead and let that sit, and then I'll light it and I'll come back when I'm gonna add the wood and we'll get the jerky on. Alright, we got all our jerky on the trays. The first thing we do is put some olive oil on it, kind of spread that around, and then you put them down so they're not touching. They're touching a little bit because of how much we had. Not really an issue, just make it kind of harder to get them off later, whatever. So then I seasoned one side and flipped them. Now we're ready to season the other side. Let's go ahead and get that done real quick. This is that seasoning I made earlier, obviously. And we're not going to go crazy, but we do want to get a decent little coating. I didn't have as much time to marinate, so a little extra seasoning won't hurt. Most of this is going to come off anyways. This tray. Alright, and that's good, and I'll meet you back outside. Alright, now that our charcoal's heated up and our jerky's ready to go, we're going to go ahead and add some wood. For that, what I'm using is, these are from a buddy. He gave me a whole log of a cherry tree, so I cut them into little pieces. And then I got some other like store-bought pieces. These are pecan. So for now, I'm just going to throw in a couple pieces of wood. We're going to set one on each side and then one big one right in the middle. And that'll just kind of get some smoke going, because obviously we want a lot of smoke in here. Alright, so now what we got going on is we got our logs in there with our charcoal heating up pretty well. And then we've got our jerky on some pizza pans like I showed you earlier. And those are up on the top rack. So now we're just going to kind of check on things. Right now at this point, you just want to check the fire and kind of check the wood. Make sure you're good there. I'm not really checking the jerky yet. I want to go, at least a couple hours probably. So right now I'm just going to check and see what kind of smoke we're making. It's definitely smoking good. Alright. So at this point, I'm going to take another handful of the Kingsford charcoal, and I'm going to throw some more charcoal in, and I might throw in another piece of wood, otherwise I'm just going to kind of stir it. So I'm literally just going to grab a handful of charcoal. I'm just going to keep my heat going, and the wood is really for a lot more of a smoke than anything. And I think I'm going to throw in a couple more pieces of that pecan. Those are a lot smaller pieces. So I'm just going to I'm not even going to throw in that big one. I'm just going to throw in some of the smaller guys. I add one more little guy. That's what makes this thing really cool, and I love using it, is you really got to kind of judge how much you're adding and when you're adding. I like to go every 30 minutes, obviously, just to make sure I'm not getting too much heat. I have burnt some jerky, not gonna lie, so we'll check in another 30 minutes, see what's happening. Alright, it's been another 30 minutes, so we're going to go ahead and get some wood ready. We'll check on it, and then this time we're actually going to check on the jerky too. Get another piece of that cherry, and then some more pecan. I'm going to go ahead and throw a little bit of charcoal in too. Since it's a cold day, it's heating it up pretty quick. Show you guys what's going on. Just kind of stacking it up a little bit, nothing too fancy. Check on. Yeah, it's still definitely got a lot of smoke, obviously, but it's still got a ways to go, so we'll come back in a little bit. Alright guys, it's been about 45 minutes since I've last talked to you. I came out here once and added some more wood, but that's all I did. So I'm out here again. We're going to add some more wood and check the jerky. See where we're at. Alright, so we're getting there with some of our smaller pieces like that. Like that's a pretty good piece right there. Get a little sample for you, Yeah, that's definitely some of the best jerky I've done so far. Alright, I'm going to add another couple pieces of wood and give it another probably, 30 minutes, and I think we'll probably call it. You know we gotta grab one more of them little pieces before we go. Alright guys, we got our jerky pulled off. It's been a little over 4 hours. So now we're gonna take a look and we'll give it a try. So you can tell this pan, they're all pretty much perfect. That's kinda how I like them to be. Let's grab one of these little guys right here. Let's give that a bite. That's some damn good eating, y'all. Oh my god, finish that with a little bush light. So you can really taste all the seasonings in there, but until next time guys, appreciate you watching.